Every day, brilliant founders, leaders, and professionals like you wake up facing the same cold, brutal truth. You're buried under noise, trapped in a flood of generic advice, empty marketing tactics, and fleeting trends that promise the world and deliver nothing. You know your vision deserves to be seen, to break through the clutter, but somehow it just doesn't. The ads you create, the messages you craft, they fall flat. They're lost in a sea of sameness. It's like yelling into a storm where nobody hears your voice. And that frustration, it's soul-crushing. Every failed campaign chips away at your confidence. Every wasted dollar is a stab in the back. And every meh comment from the audience feels like you're invisible. What if the problem isn't the ideas or the product? What if the fault lies in the way this incredible message is told? What if long ago, before flashy tech and fancy algorithms took over, there was a secret, a kind of art, that made ads not just seen or heard, but unstoppable? They moved people. They lingered in minds like a haunting melody. They didn't scream. They seduced. They fused emotion with simplicity in a way that went beyond logic, beyond manipulation, straight to the heart. And somewhere along the way, that art was forgotten. Buried under layers of optimize for clicks, scale fast, and always be selling. But here's the thing. The past contains the future. And this forgotten art could be exactly the key to breaking the cycle you're stuck in. You're not alone feeling this way. The world is outsourcing its soul to algorithms, to formulas, to step-by-step frameworks that strip away what makes communication human. Your audience is more than data points. They're minds, hearts, fears, dreams. Connecting with them requires more than targeting and retargeting. It demands a raw human touch, something authentic, vulnerable, and deeply resonant. This isn't about tricks. It's about truth. Truth that shatters the bland and the banal. Truth that ignites fire. Today, revelation hits. The secret lies in mastering simplicity combined with emotional power. Whenever those old ads hit epic levels of unstoppable, they weren't complicated. They were clear as daylight. They didn't try to be everyone's voice. They spoke to that one burning question, that exact need lurking inside the person watching. They understood pain points not as bullet points, but as lived experiences. And the solution? Not just shoved down throats, but offered as escape routes from despair. Let's get real about your pain. The sleepless nights wondering if your message will ever stick. The nagging doubt that you're just background noise. And the brutal competition that feels like a war zone filled with copycats. Right now, your struggle is this. Everyone's shouting, but who's listening? What happens when the noise drowns you out? When the fancy tricks stop working? When ads disappear from feeds, audiences unsubscribe, and nobody cares? It's terrifying. It's isolating. It breaks your spirit. But here's the shocker. The very system that's crushing you was built on illusions. It promises freedom, but chains you to the same meaningless tactics churned out by millions before you. It praises growth, but neglects connection. It sells convenience over creativity. And in this prison of sameness, your unique spark suffocates. The problem isn't a lack of talent or ambition, it's the structure itself. The system leaves no room for radical, for new, for exceptional voices like yours. So what if the answer is to reject this system? To step off the treadmill of chasing the next viral trend? To rediscover that forgotten art that doesn't beg for attention, but demands it, quietly and irresistibly. The old masters knew that emotion wasn't optional. It was the heartbeat of every message. They knew that storytelling wasn't storytelling unless it cut you open and made you feel. They crafted ads that weren't just ads. They were experiences, moments people would remember years later. Ads so human, they bypassed skepticism and went straight to belief. Imagine harnessing that power, not as a nostalgic exercise, but as a radical strategy for today. Imagine word of mouth that's not manufactured, but naturally explosive. Imagine your brand becoming a lighthouse for those hungry for meaning in a soulless marketing storm. This isn't about gimmicks. It's about becoming sovereign in your voice, wielding your will as a weapon, and forging connections that aren't just clicks, but lifelong loyalty. Now here's where it gets intense. To reclaim this art, you must unlearn everything you thought marketing was. Forget the brief, the buyer personas, the endless A/B tests. Instead, focus on one person in that vast crowd. Speak to their pain, the silent fears they hide even from themselves. Acknowledge their frustration. Show them no one has recognized their struggle like you do. Then offer your idea, your product, your service, not as a commodity, but as salvation. Not with jargon, but as a promise whispered between trusted friends. That's the magic. It's time to flip the script and stop chasing volume. Start chasing depth. The kind of depth that turns viewers into believers and buyers into advocates. This is the forgotten rhythm, the melody buried beneath layers of noise. It's lean, it's clear, it's fiercely emotional. It's the difference between an ad people swipe past and one they bookmark, between a campaign that bleeds cash and one that builds legacy. Here's the real power move. Embrace patience. Understand that true connection doesn't explode overnight. It simmers, it builds, it earns trust with every interaction. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, patience becomes your superpower. The art isn't just in the message, but in the relationship you cultivate over time. Every post, every interaction, every email is a thread weaving the bond that turns strangers into allies. That's your invisible infrastructure for exceptional. A space no algorithm can build, but you can own. But the transformation doesn't stop there. The future belongs to those who dare to be different, those who defy the rules etched by the comfortable, the compliant, the critics. Your greatest allies aren't the masses. They're the few who burn as fiercely as you do. Align with them. Collaborate. Amplify each other's fire. The synergy of rare minds camping together on the edge is unstoppable. This network, this interconnected power, it's the new ecosystem for radical creators, founders, and leaders who refuse to settle. When you tap into this, your marketing becomes a calling, not just a task. Your message becomes a beacon, not just a banner. You don't become just another voice in the noise. You become the rare signal the world's been waiting for. The ripple turns into a wave because it's fueled by something real and untouchable by cheap tactics, raw human connection. Here's the truth nobody tells you. The world will fight you on this journey. It will tempt you with shortcuts and comfort. It will whisper lies that scaling quickly is more important than scaling deeply. It will push you toward emptiness, disguised as success. But to make your mark, to unlock the unleashed power inside you, you must resist. Be sovereign. Question everything. Redefine your reality. Pick your allies fiercely. Play the long game like your destiny depends on it. Because it does. This isn't a path for the faint-hearted or the casual marketer. This is the call for those ready to burn rather than bend. Those who know they were meant for more than this echo chamber of sameness. The forgotten art can bring you back not just to relevance, but to reverence. It will not just stop your ads from failing. It will make them impossible to ignore. Because when you speak from this place, raw, simple, relentless, marketing stops being marketing. It becomes movement. It becomes legacy. If you're feeling that fire, if you hear that quiet scream inside, whispering that you belong to no one but yourself, that your message deserves more, then this is your awakening. Not through noise, but through essence. Not through quantity, but quality. Not through conformity, but through radical alignment. You have the power to turn struggle into strategy, to transform confusion into clarity, to take what was lost and make it your greatest advantage. The forgotten art is not gone. It's waiting for you to claim it, waiting for you to unleash the unstoppable potential hiding within your message, waiting for you to stop being a voice in the void and start becoming the spark that sets the world on fire. And when that happens, nothing will ever be the same again.